Hey guys, it's Kelly and welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited because we are touring one of my favorite cars, and that car is a 2023 Volvo XC90 plug-in hybrid. This is probably one of my favorite luxury cars for families, and today I'm going to tell you why. If this is your first time joining me, hey, I'm Kelly and I'm the car mom. I review cars for moms and for families. I'm a mom of 3 and a certified child passenger safety tech. All right, let's get started. Starting with the front end grille, I think it is so well designed. It's simplistic, but still very sleek and high end. I love that the grille is a little bit smaller, but it's very chromy, so it still kind of gives it a little bit of a statement. Okay, and then moving along to the side profile, she's still looking stunning. 21-inch two-toned wheels right here, and I told you this is a plug-in hybrid. Here's where we plug the car in. So what I like about this car is you can use it as an electric vehicle within 35 miles of range, or you can use it as a hybrid where the gas engine and the electric motor will work together to be as fuel efficient as possible. What's kind of cool about this car is since the battery is not so big, it's actually okay just to plug it into your standard house outlet. With a 110 volt, you're looking at about 10 to 25 hours to get the car fully charged. All right, and then here's the back end of the XC90 with some of their signature taillights. I think these look just so unique and fresh. Like there's nothing else on the road that has these kind of taillights, and truly I think the XC90 is just a beautifully designed car. Okay, so I told you I like the exterior. Let's get into the interior. We're going to talk about some of the safety and comfort features, and then we're going to dive into this very interesting car seat setup. So the XC90 we're doing is like loaded, like fully loaded. This one has an MSRP of $85,000. So let's talk about what you get. We're going to start with the door panel. Stunning. Beautifully designed. So many fun materials on here. One of my favorite things about this car is this wool interior. It's wool on the door panel. It's also on the seats. Do I think that's the easiest for kids? No. Do I think it's stunning? Yes. It also has the Bowers Wilkins sound system, so a great sound system. I love that the buttons of like the window and of the mirrors are kind of like a gloss black, just to kind of give it a little bit more interest. And then we have our side cubby down there, which can in fact fit a Stanley 30-ounce ice flow. Okay, let's go over to the other side and we're going to start breaking down this infotainment system. We have heads-up display so I can see, how fast I'm going, things like that. And then we move into this completely digitalized dash. One of my favorite features of this, something we're seeing come up in a lot of vehicles, is like a seatbelt sensor or a seatbelt map. So I actually have a view of the car and it will tell me who is buckled and who is not. I think that's great for booster age children, obviously, but also if you have a child seat who's installed with a seatbelt, it's a nice visual reminder to make sure it is still installed. All right, now let's dive into this infotainment system. Okay, everything's completely built in. A quick little knock. I like it from a user-friendly perspective. I wish it was a little bigger. I feel like for how much tech they're trying to put in here, I need the screen to be bigger, maybe a little wider. And I would love some of the climate control specifically pulled out of there. There's so few buttons in this car where I really feel like I have to depend on this technology. One of my biggest pet peeves with this car was the hybrid technology is also put inside this screen, which I know is not the end of the world. I just kept looking for a quick, easy way to put it into hybrid mode or put it into power. And I had to go back to the infotainment system to do it. I want to talk about the different modes that come on this plug-in hybrid. So you have hybrid, which is the basic default mode, and that's when both the electric motor and the gas engine are going to work together to be as fuel efficient as possible. You can also do pure, and that's how you can kind of dip your toe into this EV world, and it's going to prioritize the electric motor to use up as much range as possible. So I told you the electric range is about 35 miles. That might not sound like a ton, but the average driver is less than 30 miles a day. So if you're a kind of person who maybe has a short daily commute, you could hypothetically treat this like an electric vehicle and only drive on that electric range. The last one is power, which prioritizes the performance of the vehicle. So you're still going to be using both the electric motor and the gas engine, but it's going to put more of an emphasis on how the car performs. One more thing about the technology. So this car does have Apple CarPlay. So if you're an Apple person, you use Apple CarPlay. If you're an Android person, or you just want to, this car, actually Volvo was the first manufacturer to get fully integrated with Google. So you have Google Assistant, you have Google Maps, you have the Google Play Store, all Google Podcasts, all built in to the Volvo XC90. Okay, some more of the comfort and storage features down here. There's not a lot to write home about. Honestly, this car is missing some storage. This is a smaller midsize SUV. When I talk about the midsize category, it's so big, anything from a Kia Sorento, Volkswagen Tiguan, all the way up to a Chevy Traverse, Honda Pilot. This, I would put it kind of in the middle to the slightly smaller side. There's not a lot of storage up here. I do have 2 cup holders, which can fit my Stanley, so that's exciting. I'm loving this. Are you guys kidding? To this crystal glass shifter. It's giving BMW. And then we have a very tiny center console. There is 2 USB-Cs in here, so that's great, but we are we are missing some storage. You can open up this glove box right here. You can just hit this button right here and the glove box pops open. Okay, so the XC90, I told you it's one of my favorite luxury cars for families, and it does have how I would describe like an interesting car seat setup because it's not stellar, but it's pretty efficient with what it's got. So this is either a 6 or a 7 passenger car, depending on if you get the bench seat or the captain's chairs. There are 2 seats in the third row. The third row seats are nothing to write home about. No lower anchors, no tether anchors. That's honestly pretty disappointing. There's also no way to access the third row with car seats installed in the second row. But where this car really brings it home is how good the second row is for car seats and how good of a 3 across candidate it is. So if you're looking at the Volvo XC90, I would highly suggest the bench seat because it's just a good bench. It's versatile, it's flexible, it's wide, it's comfortable, it does all the things. So the car seat setup in the second row, we have lower anchors in both the outboard seats. We have tether anchors across the bench. So that's 2 sets of lower anchors, 3 tether anchors. This is an atypical bench seat though, because instead of it being a 60-40 split, it's 3 separate seats. I love when cars do that. Ford Expedition, my car, does that. It makes for so much more versatility. I was easily able to fit 3 across with this car seat combination. I have a Kleck Foof on this outboard seat, a Kleck Flow in the middle, and a Kleck Ling on the other side. Okay, I did want to show you this side to give you an idea of the car seat clearance. So I told you this is one of the smaller of the mid-size SUVs. So that means it's not the best for rear-facing car seats in taller drivers. However, this is a Kleck Ling infant seat. It's one of the most compact seats front to back, and I have several inches of clearance with that seat set for myself at about 6 feet tall. However, next to it, I have your more traditional convertible car seat, and I did not have the clearance. So we actually opted to put that seat in the middle to give ourselves a little bit more room. And from a passenger perspective, it's actually pretty comfortable. I have a ton of great knee clearance, good head clearance, and the seats are pretty comfortable. A couple of things I'm not obsessed with, no ceiling vents. I have vents on the side, which are better than just down here, but still for rear-facing car seats, I find it hard to get that good ventilation. So vents here and here. I also have heated seats in this trim level and sunshades and a panoramic sunroof. So a lot of nice amenities back here. This is one of my favorite features in any car, but specifically the XC90, the integrated booster seat. Why all vehicles don't have this, I will never understand. Booster seat. I mean, this is such a good feature. Like imagine like a grandparent's car or something. Then you have your built-in booster, you just buckle the child in. It's perfectly safe as long as the booster seat fits the child. And I just love the versatility that offers. Okay, guys, the third row of the XC90 is nothing to write home about. To me, this is very much a really, really good 5-passenger car with an occasional third row access. Tilts and slide. All right, here we are in the third row of the XC90, and it is more spacious than I remember, I'm going to be honest. And it actually is pretty comfortable. I really wish they had some tether anchors back here or some lower anchors, so I'm disappointed to see that. But for like occasional use, it's not horrible. I have some decent amenities, not great. I have vents right here, cup holders, no charging back here, which I thought was kind of strange. And then a little bit of storage here as well. What's cool about this car though is even though it's on the smaller end, I still have good third row legroom and I have good trunk space. So let's head there next. Okay, trunk space with the third row up fits the Zoe double twin stroller. I mean, that is impressive. There are so many mid-size SUVs that do not fit this. There are some full-size SUVs, Toyota Sequoia, that would not fit this. So this is really good trunk space for the size of the car. Underneath here, not much storage, but a little bit. We have our charger here as well. Here's something I don't love. Third row, very easy to put down. You can see that. Lays completely flat. You have so much cargo space. There is no way to pull the third row back up. I need a tabby. I need something to grab. I literally have to go in here and grab it like that, which I understand that only took about 5 seconds, but I'm telling you, hands full, screaming toddler, I would love the ability to have a tab right there. So Volvo, if you're listening, I feel as though that's like a $5 ad, which would provide so much more convenience for us moms. So let me know in the comments below what you think of this 2023 Volvo XC90 and which vehicle you want me to tour next. Talk to you next time.